Have you ever stopped to think about what's really pulling the strings behind your mood, your focus, or even your motivation? Well, it's not magic. It's actually this powerful, invisible orchestra of chemicals conducting the whole symphony inside your head. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on these incredible molecules, show you how they work, and, most importantly, how you can work with them.
So let's just start with that question. What is secretly in the driver's seat of your mind right now? The answer, it isn't some abstract idea. It's a very real set of powerful chemicals. And just starting to understand them is the first step to understanding yourself.
And that leads us right into our first section, the body's chemical messengers. We're about to dive into the fundamental language of the brain, how it talks to itself, and by extension, how it talks to the rest of your body.
Okay, first things first. What exactly is a neurotransmitter? Now, the slide gives us a great technical definition, but I like to think of them as tiny biological text messages, right? One brain cell sends it and another one receives it. And that simple little message can influence everything from how you feel this afternoon to whether you can even lift your arm. This whole process, it's like a perfectly choreographed dance, and it happens in 3 key steps. First, a neuron releases its chemical message. Second, that message has to travel across this microscopic gap called the synapse, kind of like a tiny boat crossing a tiny river. And third, it docks perfectly with a receptor on the next neuron, delivering its instruction. This entire journey happens faster than you can blink, billions of times every single second. It's incredible.
But here's the thing. Not all messages are the same. They pretty much fall into 2 main camps. You've got your excitatory signals, which are like a green light, basically shouting go, and encouraging the next neuron to fire up. And then you have inhibitory signals, which are the red light saying stop and preventing it from firing. This balance between go and stop is absolutely crucial for a healthy, stable nervous system.
So, we've covered the how, but what about the who? Let's meet the main players in this whole chemical drama, the specific neurotransmitters that are really the lead characters in the story of your daily life.
All right, let's do a quick run-through of the all-star lineup. First up, you've got serotonin. Think of it as the master mood stabilizer, the chemical that keeps you on an even keel. Then there's dopamine, the molecule of more. It's that rush you get when you crush a goal or eat your favorite food. Next is norepinephrine, which is your internal alarm system, sharpening your focus for those fight or flight moments. And on the flip side, you have GABA, the brain's main chill-out signal, basically telling everything to slow down and relax. And finally, there's acetylcholine, kind of like the librarian of your brain, which is crucial for locking in new memories and helping you learn. Okay, now for the really empowering part. See, you're not just a passenger on this wild chemical ride. You can actually influence your own brain chemistry. So let's look at some simple, natural ways you can support these vital messengers. And here's the fundamental truth. Your brain is like a factory, but it can't just create these messengers out of thin air. It needs raw materials. And where do those materials come from? Well, they come directly from your plate. What you eat literally becomes the building blocks for how you think and feel. It's that direct. This is a perfect example of that direct connection. Your body is an amazing chemist. It takes specific amino acids, which are just the building blocks of protein, right? And it converts them into these powerful brain chemicals. So you eat some turkey or nuts, and the tryptophan inside can become serotonin to help regulate your mood. Or you eat some beans or fish, and the tyrosine gets turned into dopamine to fuel your motivation. Pretty cool, huh?
And it's not just about protein. Think of omega-3s from fish and walnuts as the oil that keeps all the dopamine machinery running smoothly. Vitamins? They're like the essential crew on the factory's assembly line, helping to actually build the neurotransmitters. And magnesium is like the power grid for the whole operation, playing a key role in overall brain energy and function. It just goes to show a varied, nutrient-dense diet is totally non-negotiable for a healthy mind. But it's not just about fuel, it's also about action. When you exercise, you're not just working your muscles, you're directly telling your brain to pump out more of that mood-boosting serotonin. And sleep? It's not passive rest, it's your brain's nightly reset button, a crucial time for rebalancing serotonin and dopamine. And when you practice things like mindfulness or yoga, you are actively training your brain to produce more GABA, its own built-in calming signal. Now, while all these natural methods are incredibly powerful, sometimes people turn to medication to influence their brain chemistry. This brings us to a really important and, well, a more cautionary topic, a class of drugs known as benzodiazepines. So what are these things? Benzodiazepines, which you might know by brand names like Valium or Ativan, are drugs that powerfully enhance the effect of GABA. Remember GABA, the brain's brake pedal? Well, these drugs essentially press that pedal down to the floor, producing a really strong calming effect. And listen, while they can be incredibly effective for short-term crisis like a panic attack, there is a very serious trade-off. It is absolutely vital to understand that when these are used long-term, they come with significant and very serious risks. So, what are we talking about here specifically? First is tolerance. Your body gets used to the drug, so you need more and more of it just to feel the same effect. And that can quickly lead to dependence, where your brain actually rewires itself and starts to rely on the drug just to feel normal. Even more concerning are the links to cognitive impairment. We're talking memory loss and a higher risk of dementia down the road. And finally, trying to stop can trigger a severe withdrawal that can be physically dangerous. These aren't just minor side effects, they are serious consequences. This is exactly why the medical consensus on this is so clear. These are tools for acute, short-term crises. They should only be used under strict medical supervision. They were never, ever intended to be a long-term solution for managing something like chronic anxiety or sleep issues. So what's the big takeaway from all of this? From the food you put in your body to the way you move your body, the main message here is one of empowerment. You have so much more influence over your own brain chemistry than you probably ever realized.
So I'll leave you with this final thought, a question to kind of reflect on. Knowing what you know now about these incredible chemical messengers, what is one small positive change you can make for your brain starting today?